Welcome back to the latest video on the Who Died Today channel. In the past 24 hours, we've received sad news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. In today's episode, we dedicate this time to honor their memories and celebrate the legacies of these remarkable individuals. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or their legacy has touched your life, please give it a like as a sign of respect. Thank you. Val Kilmer, the acclaimed actor known for unforgettable roles such as Iceman in Top Gun, Batman in Batman Forever, and Jim Morrison in The Doors, passed away on April 1st from pneumonia at the age of 65. His daughter, Mercedes Kilmer, confirmed the news to the New York Times, sharing that the actor had been diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014, but had later recovered. Kilmer's career spanned decades, earning him recognition for his intense performances and versatility across film and theater. He became a beloved figure in Hollywood, admired not just for his talent, but for his resilience and passion for the craft. His portrayal of larger-than-life life figures brought depth and nuance to each role, making a lasting impression on audiences worldwide. Val Kilmer, in a lifetime as an artist, created work that touched so many in so many mediums, said his Top Gun co-star Anthony Edwards in a statement to People. Kilmer's legacy lives on through the stories he brought to life and the inspiration he gave to future generations. Johnny Tillitson, the beloved singer behind the 1960s classic Poetry in Motion, passed away on April 1st at the age of 86 following complications related to Parkinsonism. The news was confirmed by his wife Nancy Tillitson, who shared a moving tribute on social media the following day. Someone said that sometimes right in the middle of an ordinary life, you get a fairy tale. The day I met him, I got mine, she wrote. He was funny, generous, and kind, a gentleman through and through. Tillitson's smooth voice and heartfelt lyrics earned him a devoted fan base during the golden era of pop music, and his influence continued to resonate with audiences for decades. Nancy also reflected on Johnny's deep appreciation for his supporters. He loved and was grateful to his fans. As he once said, "They made every dream I ever had come true." Once again, on his behalf, I say thank you for that. Tillitson leaves behind a timeless musical legacy that continues to inspire. Vittorio Pirbazari, a professional bodybuilder and actor known for his role in the Netflix series Dogs of Berlin, has died at the age of 44. The news was first shared by his close friend, director Sai Ibrahim, who posted a heartfelt message on Instagram on April 1st. Ibrahim said he was completely thrown off track upon learning of Pier Bazari's passing the day before. While no official cause of death has been released, Ibrahim suggested that Pier Bazari may have suffered a heart attack while working out at the gym. Pier Bazari was widely respected for his dedication to fitness and his commanding screen presence. His performance in Dogs of Berlin showcased not just physical strength, but a deep intensity that left a mark on viewers. Friends and fans alike are mourning his sudden loss, remembering him as a passionate, driven individual who gave his all to every pursuit. His legacy as both an athlete and performer will be deeply missed. Ruth Buzzy, unforgettable as Gladys Ormfee on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, who passed away at the age of 88 on May 1st, 2025, due to complication as related to Alzheimer's disease. Her husband, Kent Perkins, confirmed the heartbreaking news, sharing that Ruth died peacefully in her sleep at their Texas home, surrounded by love after years of hospice care. Born on July 24, 1936 in Westerly, Rhode Island, Ruth Buzzy became a household name through her sharp-witted handbag-wielding character Gladys Ormf, a role that earned her a Golden Globe and multiple Emmy nominations. As the only cast member to appear in every episode of Laugh-In, Ruth broke barriers for women in comedy and left an indelible mark on television history. Behind the scenes, Ruth's journey was not without challenges. In her later years, she faced the cruel grip of Alzheimer's disease with grace and resilience. A series of strokes in 2022 left her bedridden, but she continued to find moments of joy in the love of her husband and the messages from her countless fans. Kent Perkins regularly updated supporters, once writing, "Ruthie is facing serious health issues with poor prognosis, but she's still enjoying life, reading your messages and looking at your pictures." Beyond laughing, Ruth delighted audiences on The Dean Martin Show, Sesame Street, and beloved animated classics like The Smurfs and the Berenstain Bears. She wasn't just a comedian. She was a storyteller, a trailblazer, and a source of light whose kindness touched everyone around her. As we remember Ruth Buzzy today, we honor not only her unforgettable characters, but also her spirit of joy and resilience. Though her voice is now silent, her laughter lives on in every memory, every episode, and every heart she touched. Farewell, Ruth. Thank you for the light, the laughter, and the legacy you leave behind. You will be deeply missed now and always. British actor Damian Thomas passed away on April 18, 2025 at Salisbury Hospice in Wiltshire, England, after a long and courageous battle with progressive supranuclear palsy, a rare and debilitating neurological disease. He was 83 years old. His daughter Phoebe Thomas confirmed the news, and the Telegraph published a detailed obituary a few days later. Born in Ismailia, Egypt on April 11, 1942, Thomas went on to build a career that spanned nearly 5 decades. He is warmly remembered for his role as Father Martin Alvito in the acclaimed miniseries Shogun 1980 and as Richard Mason in the BBC's Jane Eyre 1983. His film credits, including Twins of Evil 1971, The Message 1976, and Pirates 1986, showcased his remarkable range. On television, he appeared in beloved series like Agatha Christie's Poirot and House of Cards, bringing a thoughtful depth to every role he embraced. Friends and colleagues have shared heartfelt memories of Thomas's kindness and generosity. Film historian Robert J.E. Simpson recalled, "Saddened to hear that the lovely Damian Thomas died at the age of 83 last Friday, a week after his birthday. I'd met him a few times at various events, and he was always gracious and generous with his time." The community of film enthusiasts, especially fans of classic horror and historical drama, have expressed deep appreciation for the authenticity he brought to his characters. He is survived by his wife Julia, 3 children, and 3 stepchildren. Thomas's contributions to film and television left a lasting impression on audiences and colleagues alike. His performances continue to be remembered and appreciated by fans around the world. Jay North, forever etched in the hearts of generations as the wide-eyed, slingshot-carrying Dennis the Menace, passed away peacefully on April 6, 2025 at his home in Lake Butler, Florida. He was 73. His passing followed a long and quiet battle with colon cancer. It was Jeannie Russell, his lifelong friend and former co-star, who shared the news. Jay was a deeply sensitive soul, she said, who never fully recovered from the pressures of childhood fame. But he never stopped caring for others. Born in August 1951 in Hollywood, North found himself in front of cameras before most children had started school. By the age of 8, he had become a household name through the beloved CBS series Dennis the Menace, 1959 to 1963. The show's light-hearted portrayal of suburban mischief brought warmth and laughter to millions. Yet, behind the charm of Dennis Mitchell was a boy navigating the heavy burden of early stardom, something Jay would later speak about with honesty and vulnerability. As the spotlight faded, North stepped away from acting, served in the U.S. Navy, and eventually worked as a correctional officer in Florida. Far from the cameras, he built a life rooted in service and resilience. He also used his own experience to advocate for young performers, partnering with groups like A Minor Consideration to support child actors facing challenges he knew all too well. The tributes that followed his passing were tender and sincere. "Jay was a wonderful person," said John Prost of Lassie, "and I miss him with all my heart." Angela Cartwright offered, Life wasn't always kind to you, Jay, but I hope you're now the pirate you always dreamed of being. For so many, Jay was more than just a face on television. He was part of their childhoods. If Jay North was a part of your memories, what episode or moment still brings a smile to your face? Share it below and help us honor the boy who grew up in front of us and taught us that even mischief can come with a kind heart. Charles Esch, the Oscar-nominated writer and director behind beloved films like Private Benjamin and Father of the Bride, passed away at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles after a brief illness. He was 83. His daughter, filmmaker Hi Myers Shire, confirmed the news to the Associated Press. In a statement, the family wrote, "His loss leaves an unfillable hole in our lives, but his legacy lives on through his children and the 5 decades of wonderful work he's left behind." Born in Los Angeles in 1941, Shire was steeped in the traditions of Hollywood from an early age. His father, Melville Shire, was one of the founding members of the Directors Guild of America. Charles began in television, then rose to prominence with Private Benjamin, 1980, a screenplay co-written with Nancy Myers and Harvey Miller, which earned an Academy Award nomination. Through the 1980s and 1990s, Shire and Myers, his creative and life partner at the time, crafted films that captured the humor, tension, and tenderness of modern family life. Baby Boom, Father of the Bride, and The Parent Trap, 1998, remained touchstone for generations of viewers. Following his passing, tributes came from many who knew and worked with him. Nancy Myers posted simply, "Charles Esch, 1941 to 2024. While actress Lindsay Lohan shared, "He will always be in my heart, as will all my fond memories of him." Kimberly Williams Paisley, who starred in Father of the Bride, remarked, "I wouldn't be who I am today without them." Their words reflect not only affection, but a recognition of how deeply his work influenced their lives and careers. Charles Shire's storytelling was never about grandeur. It was about people, connection, and life's quieter truths. Whether it was a daughter's wedding, a woman's career shift, or holiday memories, his films offered laughter, reflection, and comfort. He leaves behind not only a body of work, but a lasting emotional imprint on American cinema. Neil Zurker, a beloved Ohio journalist, author, and longtime television personality, passed away peacefully at his home in Bay Village, Ohio. He was 89. His passing due to natural causes was confirmed by WJW-TV, his professional home for decades. With his passing, Ohio lost not only a familiar face on the screen, but a trusted voice that guided generations through the quiet back roads and small wonders of their own state. Best remembered for his iconic one-tank trip segment, Neil had a rare gift for turning ordinary places into memorable adventures. Launching in 1979 during the energy crisis, his travel stories encouraged Ohioans to rediscover what was already around them. He wasn't just pointing to a map. He was building a bridge between people and places. Families planned weekends around his segments, knowing his advice was sincere, practical, and rooted in deep local knowledge. Off-screen, Neil wrote books like Ohio Oddities and Tales from the Road, all in the same thoughtful, inviting tone that marked his on-air presence. Over the years, his work earned recognition from the Society of Professional Journalists and the Ohio Broadcasters Hall of Fame. More than awards, though, it was the public's enduring trust that defined his career. He didn't chase fame, he earned respect. Following the news of his passing, tributes flowed from across the state. John Skirdick, director of the Cleveland Public Library, wrote, "Neil's warmth, wit, and passion left an indelible mark on all who had the privilege of knowing him." A viewer shared, "His way with words drew you into his stories and captivated your interest." Neil Zier reminded us all that some of life's richest journeys begin right in our own backyard, and for that he will always be remembered. Drake Hogstein, best known for his decades-long role as John Black on Days of Our Lives, passed away at his home in Malibu, California, after a courageous battle with pancreatic cancer. He was 70 years old, just one day shy of his 71st birthday. His family shared the news through the show's official channels, saying he passed peacefully, surrounded by loved ones. In their message, they honored his strength, stating he had fought with incredible determination to the very end. Born on September 29, 1953 in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Hogstein began his career in professional baseball before an injury redirected his path toward acting. In 1986, he stepped into the role of John Black, a mysterious and enduring character that would define his legacy. With over 4,200 episodes to his name, Hogstein became a staple of daytime television, capturing hearts through his undeniable on-screen chemistry with Deidre Hall. Their characters, John and Marina, became one of soap opera's most iconic couples, an anchor for generations of viewers. His colleagues remember him as much for who he was off-screen as on. Allison Sweeney wrote, "He was funny, generous, and thoughtful. He cared about every single scene, every person." Christian Alonso shared, "I'll always remember him as a passionate and immensely kind human being." Christopher Shaw, who played his on-screen son, simply called him Dad and thanked him for the love and guidance he gave both on and off the set. Drake Hugest is survived by his wife Victoria, their 4 children, and 7 grandchildren. His legacy lives not only in his body of work, but in the deep respect and affection of those who knew him. If you've ever been moved by one of his scenes or found comfort in his portrayal of John Black, we invite you to share your memories in the comments below. Dick Van Dyke has spent more than 7 decades bringing laughter, music, and lightness to audiences across the world. From a young man in a small Midwestern town to one of the most cherished entertainers in American history, Van Dyke's journey is a story of resilience, dedication, and an unyielding love for life. Born on December 13, 1925 in West Plains, Missouri. Van Dyke's early career began in radio and television, but it was his role in Broadway's Bye Bye Birdie that first drew national attention. His portrayal of Albert Peterson earned him a Tony Award, showcasing his natural charisma and effortless command of the stage. This success opened the door to television, where he would soon become a household name. In 1961, The Dick Van Dyke Show premiered, and it wasn't long before the series became a staple in American living rooms. As Rob Petrie, Van Dyke brought a refreshing combination of intelligence, clumsiness, and heartfelt humor. His on-screen partnership with Mary Tyler Moore was warm and believable, capturing the subtleties of married life with a humor that resonated widely. Over 5 seasons, the show earned critical acclaim and numerous Emmy Awards, forever changing the landscape of American sitcoms. But it was perhaps Mary Poppins in 1964 that lifted Van Dyke into the hearts of a global audience. His portrayal of Bert, the lively chimney sweep and street entertainer, was brimming with warmth, mischief, and boundless energy. Although his Cockney accent was far from perfect, a point Van Dyke himself has often laughed about, it did nothing to diminish the joy he brought to the screen. The character of Bert remains one of the most beloved in cinema history, embodying the spirit of optimism and kindness that Van Dyke himself lives by. Not content to be confined to one role or medium, Van Dyke continued to expand his career. He starred in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang 1968, playing Caractacus Potts, a loving father and whimsical inventor. He later took on roles in Dick Tracy 1990 and The Night at the Museum series, demonstrating an ability to connect with new generations without ever losing the core of what made him special. In recent years, Van Dyke was honored with a Creative Arts Emmy Award for his special Dick Van Dyke, 98 Years of Magic, a celebration of his enduring contributions to entertainment. This accolade joins his long list of awards, including multiple Emmys, a Grammy, and a Tony, reflecting a lifetime dedicated to bringing joy to others. Yet what truly sets Van Dyke apart is not just his talent, but his approach to life. Even today, he continues to exercise regularly, attributing much of his vitality to stretching, yoga, and staying physically active. In interviews, he has often emphasized the importance of daily movement and maintaining a positive mindset, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. His cheerful spirit and zest for living are visible not just in his work, but in the way he carries himself every day. His marriage to Arlene Silver, whom he wed in 2012, is another testament to his belief in the power of love and companionship. Despite a significant age difference, their relationship is marked by mutual respect, laughter, and shared passions. Van Dyke has often credited Arlene for helping to keep his spirits high and his outlook bright. Family has always remained central to Van Dyke's life. Throughout the ups and downs of fame, he has maintained close bonds with his children, valuing the simple joys of connection and support over the trappings of celebrity. His humility, both in public and private life, has endeared him even further to those who admire him not just for what he has achieved, but for who he is. When reflecting on his legacy, Van Dyke often speaks with characteristic modesty. He does not seek grand monuments or tributes. Instead, he hopes to be remembered as someone who brought a little more laughter into the world, a wish that, by all accounts, he has already fulfilled beyond measure. Beyond entertainment, Van Dyke has also shown quiet acts of resilience. He has faced health challenges with determination, and even in times of personal difficulty, he has leaned on humor and movement to find his way forward. His decision to stay in his cherished Malibu home during natural adversities, while risky, speaks to his deep-rooted love for stability and place. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about Dick Van Dyke is the way he has aged, not with bitterness or fear, but with an openness to joy and a profound sense of gratitude. His laughter has not only filled stages and screens, but has also offered comfort and lightness to those navigating their own journeys through life. If Dick Van Dyke's story teaches us anything, it is that age need not be a barrier to happiness, that kindness outlasts accolades, and that a joyful heart remains the greatest legacy anyone can leave. We would love to hear from you. Which Dick Van Dyke moment brings the biggest smile to your face? How has his laughter and warmth touched your life? Please share your memories in the comments, and don't forget to like this video if you believe that laughter truly is timeless. Will Kaggle, one of the most respected names in Northeast dirt track racing, passed away at age 86. He passed in Lutz, Florida, from complications following a fall at his home, as confirmed by his wife, Barbara. After suffering a head injury in late January, he was hospitalized and never fully recovered. News of his passing was shared by Area Auto Racing News, marking the end of a life deeply intertwined with the world of short track racing. Over a career that spanned more than 3 decades, Kaggle earned 498 documented victories, capturing the attention and admiration of fans and competitors alike. From his early days racing in New Jersey and Pennsylvania to his championship years in the 1970s at Orange County Fair Speedway, Weedsport, and Rolling Wheels, Kaggle's impact was profound. His number 24 car became iconic, a regular presence in victory lanes across the Northeast. Though the prestigious Syracuse Mile eluded him, his victories at Langhorne in 1966 and the Eastern States 200, won 4 times, helped solidify his reputation as a driver of immense skill and consistency. Following a serious crash in 1985, Kaggle transitioned into track management, guiding operations at several venues, including East Bay Raceway Park and Canam Speedway. Even after retirement, his love for racing didn't fade. He continued to compete in legend cars and TQ midgets well into his 70s. His fierce commitment to the sport was matched by a strategic mind, one his peers remembered fondly. He would cover his tires, cover his car, and that would drive them crazy, Barbara Kaggle recalled with a smile. Fellow racer Buzzy Reedman called him a good racer who didn't give an inch, but wasn't a dirty driver. Kaggle's daughter, Cindy Henderson, spoke to the essence of his life. He said when he got into racing, he knew he had to live and breathe it, and that's exactly what he did. That deep devotion to the sport, to his craft, and to those who raced alongside him is the legacy Will Kaggle leaves behind. David Seagull, founder of Westgate Resorts and husband of Jackie Seagull, passed away on April 5, 2025 at his home in Windermere, Florida. He was 89. After a long and private battle with cancer, he passed surrounded by his loved ones. The news was shared by Jackie Seagull in a heartfelt post on Instagram. "I had 25 wonderful years with David, and together we raised 8 incredible children. His life and legacy live on through them all." Born in Chicago, David Seagull built one of America's largest privately held timeshare empires from humble beginnings. He founded Westgate Resorts in 1982, growing it from a small operation in a garage into a national company with more than 13,500 rooms across 22 locations. But perhaps more important to him than business success was his family and his advocacy work. After the tragic passing of their daughter Victoria in 2015 from a drug overdose, David and Jackie created the Victoria's Voice Foundation to raise awareness about addiction. Their efforts helped lead to national initiatives like Naloxone Awareness Day and the passage of the CARA Act for addiction recovery support. Many who knew David spoke warmly of his dedication and character. Jim Gissy, CEO of Westgate, said, "David never forgot his humble roots. He built this company to inspire others to find success." Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings described him as a compassionate advocate. Country singer Lee Greenwood remembered him as a patriot, devoted father, and true friend. These tributes reveal not just a businessman, but a man who left lasting impressions on those around him. David Seagull's story was famously documented in the 2012 film The Queen of Versailles, and later adapted for Broadway. It was more than a tale of wealth. It was a window into ambition, resilience, and family life. As Jackie Seagull said shortly after his passing, "I'm going to carry on his legacy. That's what he wanted me to do through his family foundation and the lives he touched." David Seagull's legacy will endure. Mary Schmucker, lovingly known to many as Mama Mary, passed away on March 28, 2025 at the age of 65. She passed peacefully at her home in Pennsylvania after a long and courageous fight with colon cancer, a diagnosis she first received in 2022. Her son, Andrew Schmucker, confirmed her passing, sharing the news with respect and simplicity. Mary had entered hospice care in late 2024 as her condition worsened, with her daughter-in-law, Rebecca, regularly updating friends and fans on social media. In one message, Rebecca wrote, "She's not feeling good the last few weeks. She's on hospice now. Her pain has been so bad, and they are helping with that." Mary rose to national recognition through her role on TLC's Breaking Amish, and later returned to Amish, where she appeared as the supportive mother to her son, Abe. Viewers were drawn to her honesty, her warmth, and her gentle humor. She became a bridge between two worlds, the traditions of her Amish background and the challenges of adapting to life beyond it. Her authenticity on camera made people feel like they truly knew her. Off-screen, she continued to share her spirit with others through a cookbook filled with simple, heartfelt recipes that reflected her deep connection to home and family. After her passing, tributes from fans and fellow cast members poured in. Many remembered Mary as the heart of the show. One fan wrote, "She was the highlight of every episode. Rest in peace, sweet lady." Another shared, "I'll think of her every time I cook with my Tupperware." She was unforgettable to many. She was more than a television personality. She was a comforting presence, like a neighbor you'd grown to care about. Mary's legacy lives in the strength she showed during her illness, the kindness she shared freely, and the family she loved so dearly. Gavin Creel, the gifted Broadway star and advocate, passed away at his home in Manhattan, New York, after a courageous battle with metastatic melanotic peripheral nerve sheath seroma. He was just 48 years old. His publicist, Matt Polk, confirmed the heartbreaking news through ABC News, sending waves of grief through the theater community. Creel's career was a tapestry of extraordinary performances and meaningful contributions. From his Tony-nominated breakthrough in Thoroughly Modern Millie to his triumphant Tony Award win for Hello, Dolly in 2017, he built a legacy of authenticity and joy. His acclaimed portrayal of Elder Price in the Book of Mormon earned him a Laurence Olivier Award, showcasing his global influence. Beyond the spotlight, he co-founded Broadway Impact, tirelessly advocating for LGBTQ+ rights, demonstrating that his art was deeply entwined with compassion and change. Those who knew Gavin remember not just the brilliance he brought to the stage, but the kindness he carried into every room. Beta Midler mourned, "He was fantastic. I can't believe he's gone." Lin-Manuel Miranda, recalling their early collaboration, wrote, "He is so loved, and it is unimaginable that he's no longer with us." Sarah Beret, fighting back tears at his memorial, simply said, "There's no way to fully describe Gavin because he was infinite in life." Broadway honored him in the most solemn way possible, dimming the lights across all mares on December 3rd, a tribute reserved for those who leave an indelible mark on the stage and in our hearts. As we celebrate Gavin Creel's extraordinary life and legacy, we invite you to share your favorite memories or performances that touched your heart. Which moment of Gavin's career left the deepest impression on you? Let's honor him by keeping his spirit alive in our stories, in our laughter, and in the songs he so passionately gave to the world. Loretta Shrivever, a beloved presence on Dutch television for more than 3 decades, passed away peacefully on March 27, 2025, at the age of 68 after a prolonged battle with colon cancer. Her family confirmed the news to RTL News, the network where Loretta's career first took flight. Elsa Opener, editor-in-chief of RTL News, remembered her warmly. Loretta entered our living rooms with her radiant smile and distinctive voice, making world news accessible and human. Born in New York on May 16, 1956, Loretta moved to the Netherlands early in life. She found her true calling in journalism, becoming a trusted news anchor at RTL News from 1989 onward. Over the years, she expanded her influence beyond news desks, hosting programs like Coffee Tide and serving as a lively panelist on The Masked Sir. Her intelligence, sincerity, and unmistakable laugh became hallmarks of her style, resonating with audiences across generations. Outside of her television work, Loretta held a profound love for animals. For more than 30 years, she was a passionate ambassador for the World Wildlife Fund. Close friend and former colleague Quinty Trustful recalled a cherished memory. Loretta had little interest in most holidays, but Easter Monday was sacred. Each year, we gave rescued hens a second chance at life, a tradition that made her light up with joy. Such moments revealed the tenderness and compassion that defined Loretta not only on camera, but in every part of her life. Even as illness quietly returned in her final years, Loretta's spirit remained unshaken. Life is only about today. You have to seize it. She once wrote her colleague Jan Slacker described her simply and beautifully. The woman with the most generous, contagious laugh in Versum. Loretta Shrivever leaves behind a legacy of kindness, authenticity, and an enduring voice that touched millions without ever asking for anything in return.